Namaskaram, ladies and gentlemen. Let us continue the discussion on the inventory management, which was taken up in the last session. So we have been investigating that how the inventory is really eating away the profitability of a company. Ever since the complex manufacturing companies have come into existence, in 1906, the Ford Motor Company was the first complex gadget manufacturing company. So the various thought process in which the manufacturing systems have been set up, and then human beings have been continuously learning how to make the manufacturing companies more and more efficient. So there is no clear idea that what is the most efficient company. So the human beings have been continuously discovering new concepts and ideas to manage the complex manufacturing companies. So one of the major area that has been taken into consideration is the inventory. So inventory is nothing but the result of many inefficiencies in the organization. So initially the material gets accumulated in the area of the incoming, in the area of work in process, and in the area of finished goods. So inventory is not a planned outcome, but it is the result of many other inefficiencies in the organizations. So let us look at it in little more deeper perspective. So that means there is no question of deciding that this is the kind of inventory level I want to hold in my company. So gradually what happens, the inventory starts keep on bulging and increasing beyond a particular point, consuming the working capital of the company. Obviously, if you have to hold a lot of materials in your organization, you need to take loans or some kind of investments you will have to make from your own reserves and then keep on buying the material, and that becomes your working capital. So when the working capital increases, obviously the interest burden for the company increases. So that means in the pipeline, if there are a lot of materials are getting clogged, which have not been converted into finished goods, obviously the organization loses money in terms of missing commitment to the customer, as well as keeping a lot of material in the system. So over a period of time, people were trying to figure out how can we control the inventory. How do we plan our manufacturing processes? How do we ensure that we are the most efficient supply chain system we have in the process of buying material and then storing them as raw materials? So this game has been played for almost last 120 years. And then there are few companies in the world have perfected this to a reasonable extent. But large majority of the companies are still groping in dark with a huge amount of inventory and then working capital, and they become more and more inefficient. So in order to tackle this problem, early in 1960, Orlicki brought a concept called MRP, which is called Material Requirement Planning. So he wrote a book as an introductory idea that this problem of inventory can be solved by a system called Material Requirement Planning. So on those days, the mainframe computers were upcoming, and then the most of the planning process in the organization were done purely by pencil and paper with a Cardex system, what it is called on those days. So the large number of people in the planning department of an automobile company will be calculating what is the sales order and how much material we need to buy, how much material we need to manufacture, and which machine has to run on what item, and so on and so forth. So Warlicky brought this concept of material requirement planning, where he brought the idea that you can start with the forecasting, meaning that what is the likely sale that we will make, because we are not very clear that the customer comes and gives an order and then we start manufacturing. Like in a restaurant, in most of the manufacturing company, the lead time to manufacture any product from raw material to finished goods is pretty long. So this concept of material requirement planning came in brief, that he said that you can have a forecasting, that is you make a judgment that what will sell and when it will sell, and then take that data and then you try to convert that into what is called production scheduling. That means when you will have to produce what product in your company, and then later on try to find out this is the quantity and such date you will have to manufacture. Then you try to break it down in terms of what is called a bill of material. Bill of material is nothing but if you want to make Hyderabadi biryani of certain quantity, then you realize that how much onion you require, how much tomatoes you require, and so on. So you are converting the finished goods at the high level and break it down up to the component level as well as the raw material level. That is called bill of material. So when you break it down to bill of material, you can find out what material is required and what particular date. And then you can give a material requirement plan to the purchasing department or a supply chain as you call it. And then they can bring the raw material to the company on time. And then you can give a manufacturing scheduling that each machines in your organization can produce certain quantities on a particular date. So he brought this idea of forecasting and then manufacturing plan and converting them into bill of material, breaking them down into component level and raw material level, and then try to figure out what material to be purchased, and then you can give a material requisition to the purchase department, and then you can give a production scheduling to the various machines you have in your company. So he brought a very logical idea of this planning function, which is called material requirement planning. And then later on the computerization came. It was more easier to break down the product into bill of material, and then the computer can build with a logic by which it can run that if this is the quantity to be produced on such and such date, and then these are the components and these are the purchasing plan and this is the manufacturing schedule and so on. So subsequently the MRP became a computerized system. Later on it became ERP. We will see that in a minute in the next video. But this idea of material requirement planning brought by Orlik became the biggest kind of a discovery of how the material requirement planning can be done. So this is one of the kind of a milestone, I must say, in the inventory management system, when everything was fairly predictable on those days because there was no much of complexity of products and so on. So going forward, we will develop this topic of how this inventory optimization can be done, what are the modern systems are available, what are modern theories are available, and then we'll take this subject forward. Thank you very much. I hope this video is bringing you some kind of a clarity in the complex subject called inventory management. Look forward to see you in many more future videos. Take care.